Well, the throne speech has been delivered, and we are one step closer to that NDP Green Frankenstein government that will take us into hard left environmental socialism once the throne speech is voted down next week. Of course, it is worth remembering too that instead of allowing this Frankenstein government, the Lieutenant Governor could opt to call a snap election instead. Premier Christy Clark and her BC Liberals crafted the throne speech intentionally to appeal to the three-member Green Party caucus that currently holds the balance of power in the province. But that has also come with a radical departure from some of her campaign positions that she and the party took prior to the previous election, just last month in May. That has caused quite a stir, with both the NDP and Green Party accusing Clark and the Liberals of lifting promises directly from their platforms. Included in the throne speech was a $100 a month bump for welfare recipients, the ending of tolls on two bridges in the Surrey and Fraser Valley area, an increase in funding for affordable housing, a $1 billion investment in childcare, increases in the carbon tax that will be offset by cuts to the provincial sales tax, a promise to reform the campaign financing laws, and a promise to hold a referendum on electoral reform. However, Clark and the Liberals stood their ground on the Site C Dam, the Kinder Morgan pipeline, their LNG aspirations, and all other resource projects. They also did not indicate that they would be touching the minimum wage just yet either. But cue the outcry from not only the media, but mostly conservatives within the BC Liberal Party ranks. And while I sympathize with you, you gotta realize that the throne speech was designed to attract support from the other side, as it is a confidence motion, and that requires the confidence of the legislature, and that's what Clark was trying to achieve. Look, I know it's easy to be cynical about all of this. After all, it was just last month during the election campaign that the BC Liberals claimed that eliminating the aforementioned tolls would jeopardize our province's AAA credit rating, and that reckless spending, as the NDP proposed, would hurt our province badly. And now they turn around and propose to do just those things. I know, it's quite annoying. But I do think that there is a silver lining here. There is a reason BC is in decent shape with our finances, and that is due to the solid management of the BC Liberals in government and Finance Minister Mike DeYoung. We have a surplus here in BC, one that DeYoung says is now larger than expected. Same with the projected future surpluses. And while I personally would love to see those surpluses used for debt reduction or tax cuts, when you lose your majority just last month to parties proposing more spending, I really don't blame this government for upping their spending promises. And I do trust that there are enough fiscal hawks within the ranks of the BC Liberal caucus that will help avoid any of this spending getting really out of control, NDP style. Of course, for many, and especially those conservative-minded folks, this will still be untenable. Clark is not very popular, and it may make some conservatives wish there was a true second option to the right of the BC Liberals. But as of right now, they are all we have between us and the NDP Green Socialist hell we all know is coming. Unless, of course, there is that snap election, and as I said, it's highly likely. But the BC Liberals don't really have time to find a new leader. They don't have time to wait for the schemes of the NDP and Greens to fail and voters to return to their side. The urgency to win any snap election is very high, and if we are going to venture down the path of increased spending, there is little doubt in my mind who I trust to keep it under control, and it's certainly not John Horgan in the NDP, nor Andrew Weaver in the Green Party. Look, the banning of corporate and union donations is something yours truly has been saying needs to be done in this province for the better part of 2 years now. It's something, though, that it might be too late now for the BC Liberals to benefit from, but it is the right thing to do. And for someone like me, I'm such a resource development-focused voter that not compromising on the major projects like Site C, the Kinder Morgan pipeline, that's of national interest, and our LNG aspirations is enough. We know the Greens and NDP have all three of those in their crosshairs to kill them once and for all. And that would lead to more economic hardship for BC than any increases in new government spending and new programs than we saw in the throne speech from the BC Liberals. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Keep it locked to the Rebel Canada YouTube channel for all your updates from this wild ride we're about to go on in British Columbia.